Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today's video is going to be a baby names video. I am going to do 20 baby names I love but won't be using. If you guys are new here, my name is Allie. I have a 15-month-old son and I am due in February with our second baby. I am having a little girl, and actually one of my most popular videos on my entire channel, I think it's my second most viewed video, is another baby names video just like this one. If you haven't seen it, I will link it down below and put a little card to it. But I actually did end up naming my son one of the names that I used in that video. So I guess never say never, because I did end up using one of the names I said that I wouldn't be using. My son's name is Hawk. I know that that can be a little out there for some people, but we love it so much. I could not imagine him being named anything else. I think that it is such a cool, unique, edgy name, and it just fits him really well. I'm really happy that we went with that. That was a name that got a lot of negative comments on that baby name video though, but I don't care what anybody else thinks. I do think that we have this baby's name narrowed down to 2 different options, so we'll probably end up waiting until she's born and then decide from there. So definitely subscribe and follow us on Instagram and stick around to see what we end up naming this baby. But I just love baby names so much, and so I wanted to share some of the really good ones that I have on my list for both boys and girls. So I have 10 boy names and 10 girl names, although I feel like a lot of these can be very unisex and could go either way. I also tend to really gravitate towards more uncommon, edgy, unique type of names. My style of names is definitely staying away from the really popular top 100 name lists. I want my kids to be the only one with that name in their class growing up, because there was always so many Allies when I was growing up. So I tend to like more unique, different sounding names. I've said this in all of my baby names videos, but if you are trying to come up with baby names and want to know how popular they are, like where they fall on that popularity scale, one of my favorite websites to use is called Baby Name Wizard. I'll link that in the description box too. But you can basically put a name that you're looking at in there and it will tell you how popular that name was at any point in time. So if it was like really, really popular in the 1900s, or if there was like a spike in 2017 or anything like that. So you can kind of see how common or uncommon the name is that you like. I think I'll start with boy names and then I'll move on to girl names. So the first boy name that I have on my list is River, and I think that this name is so cool. I feel like it could go either way too. This could definitely be a boy's name or a girl's name, but I definitely lean more towards boy when I hear it. This is one that I really, really liked before we found out the gender of this baby, but I just don't think that we could have a Hawk and a River. It would just be too much. But that's not a name I hear very often. I only know of one other baby who has this name, and he is such a cool little baby. The next name I have on here is Archer or Archie. I love the name Archie, but I would want it to be Archer and then have Archie be a nickname. This name was a top contender when we were pregnant with our son, and then the royal family had their baby a few months before he was born, and I just knew that this name was going to like blow up that year, and I didn't want him to be just another Archie in his class or whatever. I just didn't want it to seem like he was named after the royal baby, so we didn't end up using this one. But I do think this is such a good name, and it really didn't blow up in popularity quite like I thought it was going to, so it's definitely still on the unique side, which is nice. The next name on here is Finley, and the nickname Finn. Finn, I feel like, is a name that you probably could just do on its own, but I love the full name with the nickname. I feel like Finley sounds a little bit young, but Finn is kind of like the more grown version. It sounds a little bit more grown up, but either way, I love that name. I think it's so sweet. Now that I'm sitting here filming this, I think that I might have used this name in a different video, but I can't remember. The next name I have on here is Sterling. I think this is such a cool, unique name that I really hardly ever hear. I think somebody was just telling me about some Netflix TV show where there's actually a girl character named Sterling, and I had never really considered it for a girl before, but I think it would be really cute for a girl's name also. But when I hear it, I think of Robert Sterling from Mad Men, and I don't know, it leans more masculine for me. This is another one that was a huge top contender for our son. I loved this name for my son. I thought that this would be really, really cool. This next name is also another one that could go either way, and that is the name Sloan. And I actually feel like you hear this more often as a girl's name, but it's another name that just sounds a little bit more masculine to me, and if I were going to use it, I would use it for a boy. Obviously, like Mark Sloan from Grey's Anatomy, the hunkiest TV doctor of all time. The next boy name I have on here is Vance. I think this would be such a cool name, and I love the nickname Van. I think that would be such a cool little like hip name. A couple streets away from us is a street that's called Vance Street, and I always think of that as a baby name when we drive past that street. I just think that it's so different, but it's still like a somewhat common name. I think it was really popular in like the 50s and 60s. Another name I have on here is Sydney. This is so commonly a girl's name, but I love the idea of using it for a boy. Sydney with the little nickname Sid would just be so cool. I picture like a cool little surfer boy. Another name that's not necessarily uncommon, but is unique to be used for a boy. I love it. I think it's so cool. Next up is the name Pearson. I can't remember where I heard this name, but I heard it a couple of months ago and immediately like stuck out, and I wrote it down in my list of baby names on my phone because I just thought that it sounded so cool, and it was a name that I had not really heard very often. I think that'd be a very cool boy's name. The next name I have on my list is Banks. This is another one that we strongly considered for our son. We ended up ruling it out because I just didn't think that it would sound very good with our last name. Hilary Duff actually named her daughter this. So here is yet another name that could be sort of unisex, but I just think that it sounds really different and cool. And then the last boy name I have on my list is Rhodes. I love this name. I think that this is such a cool name. I think this is the name of the cop in Bridesmaids, like the really funny British cop that is like so cute in that movie. I think I was watching that movie and I like loved his character and thought that his name was really cool, and so I wrote it down on my baby names list. It's not something that you hear very often, but it doesn't sound like a totally far-fetched made-up name either. So moving on to girls' names. The first one I have on my list is Indigo or Indy. I think that the name Indy is so cute, but I love the idea of having a longer version too. And Indigo is like a very cool, unique name also. It sounds very girly and cute and just a sweet name. I really like that name. The next name I have on here is Iris. I loved this name so much, and then honestly, Iris from Married at First Sight kind of ruined it for me a little bit because she was so annoying. I still think that this is such a sweet name. I love how short and sweet it is. It just sounds so girly and timeless. The next girl name on here is Rosalie with the nickname Rosie. I just love the name Rosie. I think that is the cutest, sweetest little name ever, but I like that long version too. So Rosalie I think is a really sweet name, a good old Twilight name. The next name I have on here is Stevie. I feel like this name has started to gain popularity again lately, probably with everybody on TikTok finally discovering Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks and everything, but it's just such a cool name and it's still unique enough. I love girl names that could be boy names, and it's cute. I could really picture like a sweet little girl with the name Stevie. The next name I have on here is Maya, and I like it specifically spelled this way. For some reason I don't like it as much when I see it spelled with a Y, but the M-A-I-A, I just think it looks so beautiful written out. It's just so short and simple and sweet, and a name that would work for a little girl and like a grown woman. This next name is not super unique, but it's definitely more uncommon. This was like really popular in like the early 1900s, and that is the name Hazel. I don't think I know anybody who has babies named Hazel right now, but I just think that that is such a beautiful, like timeless name that would work so well for babies and also as they grow up too. The next name I have on here is the name Gemma. Such a cute name. I think this one is starting to kind of grow in popularity a little bit right now too, but I really don't hear it very often. Such a cool little name, Gemma. Yeah, I really like that one. The next name on here is Sage. I think I just love plant, flower, animal type of names, like nature names, but something about the name Sage I just think is so cool. It's another one that could go either way. You could have a little boy or a little girl named Sage. The next girl name I have on here is Fallon. I think that is such a cool name. I definitely don't hear that one very often at all. I think I know of like one other person who has this name, but oh, I guess Jimmy Fallon. It sounds a little edgy and different, but still not totally uncommon. And the last girl name I have on my list is the name June. I love the name June. I think it's so cute. I love like little Junie nickname. I think is so sweet. It's another name that just sounds so timeless to me. It sounds a little grandma-ish and old-fashioned, but not too old-fashioned, and it like still definitely works for the times, which I love. So cute. June. So that is all of the names I have on the list. I probably have like another 20 to 30 names on my list that I didn't use in this video. So if you guys want to see another one of these, let me know in the comments and I will film another one. But also leave your favorite baby names in the comments below. I love reading through the comments of baby name videos and seeing what you guys like. I think baby names are really fun for all of us. So leave them all in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of these ones. And I think that's all I have for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, and I will see you guys all in my next video.